Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we are making our, I think, second ever tier listing, depending on when this comes out. And this one we are, as you can see, ranking the unmatched sets. At least the ones we've played. There's a few not here as of when we're recording this anyway, of the available ones. There's not Bruce Lee, Deadpool, or the Sun's Origins pack. And I think the Shakespeare one is starting to deliver to people right now, but does not currently include those ones. When this video comes out, actually, who knows? There might be even more. I don't know. I don't think they'll be out yet, but I think they have announced the Witcher sets. I think those are coming later this year, though, maybe. Um, but yeah, so I think we're just going to try to base this mainly on the characters. We've got an unmatched tournament. If you haven't been on our channel before, late last year we did a tournament, and so we have like 30 matchups. If you want to go watch all of that, if you're really into Unmatched and want to kind of see from our initial draft of the characters, there was four of us playing, and we just went head-to-head matchups and bracket style. You can go check that out. And yeah, I think we ranked some cards too. Got a few videos on Unmatched.
A lot of unmatched content to check out. But yeah, first up, we got Volume of Legends, or Battle of Legends, Volume 1, I believe it is. And here we have King Arthur, Medusa, Alice with that giant sword, and what is that?
Sinbad.
Is that Sinbad? Yes.
Yeah, this one,
It's a mixed bag, I would say.
it's a mixed bag. I think overall, generally positive.
I mean, Medusa has got some really powerful cards. She's one of the
She
most
does have
powerful characters. I mean, it's not a power ranking, but she is a good character and range as well, which is a lot of fun. King Arthur, I like the ability to be able to boost all the attacks, which is fun, but he does end up being one of the weaker characters.
He's got a lot of health,
Yeah, and I might have played Alice once, and I don't think I
and she's
was
going from big
overall.
to small Alice.
Yeah, it's interesting. I like maybe a little simpler
Hmm.
concepts, and Sinbad, I believe, does he do those voyages?
Yep.
Um, I think those are a pretty cool concept, kind of getting more powerful as you go.
Yeah, I like that one. I probably like Sinbad and Medusa the most out of these
Yeah.
ones. But I think overall this is a positive set. It's got four characters. We probably aren't really talking about the boards much. We don't
No.
really we use the different boards, and that's cool. I don't really associate a board to a set
Yeah.
necessarily, but
Yeah.
if you are really hooked on which boards are best, you might have to
Mm,
look for a
yeah.
different list. But yeah,
Yeah.
I would say an A or B for me.
Yeah, I would say right between there. I think we'll see kind of where the rest of them fall to see if this really fits an A, because like I said, it does have a weaker character in there.
Hmm.
Maybe two characters that don't necessarily prefer, but
I'd put
um,
it in B for now, maybe right in the
okay,
middle.
okay, that was just being
Start
nice.
off,
Then
but
you
it's
go
good.
on.
It's a good one. I probably like
Yes,
it more than you.
yeah, I think so. Volume of Legends 2.
Volume, Volume of Legends again.
Battle. Let Volume of Legends Battle 2. Um, I prefer this one. I mean, you
I
got
I prefer it as well.
Sun Wukong. I think it's at least an A. We'll talk if it's a must-have. Sun Wukong is one of maybe your favorite character.
I probably overrate Sun Wukong. It's just something about it that I really like him. I don't even know that he's like a top tier character
Yeah,
necessarily. I think he's probably top half characters,
yeah,
but in power wise. But I don't know. There's something about him that I really like. And then I came to in our tournament like Achilles and Bloody Mary a lot more than I initially did. I think,
yeah.
and I can't remember how far did Yananga not get very far in our
Uh,
tournament.
I think she made it to the second round.
Yeah,
Had to meet up with Luke Cage, sadly. Um, didn't go well for her.
but no, I think Achilles is a really solid character, better than I thought he was.
Yeah,
And Bloody Mary is a hitter. It's a swinging character. You definitely
yeah,
have to be able to manage. That one's a little tougher, I think, to play because you're
yeah.
managing a small hand of cards.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a tricky one, and of the kind of tricky to play characters, that's I think the one that I have the most experience with, and have found
Mhm.
success with. So I really enjoy that character. It's my favorite of the set. And I hate playing against Sun Wukong, but he is
He's got the
a really fun character, and Achilles as well, having that.
I feel like
He's like the
Yanenga's just a slightly weaker
sidekick, right?
Medusa.
That he wants to
Oh
kill.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You want to kill
it's
his side off.
really interesting thing, and also going to be really annoying to fight against. And Yanenga is a ranged fighter, which is always fun. I
Mhm.
think this is a must-have.
I would agree. I think that's one of the best sets out there. It's got four characters as
Four
well.
characters as well.
Um, so anytime they have four characters, I think that immediately helps it versus the 3 and 2. I think those have to do a little bit more to be must have, but
Yeah,
maybe they're a little bit cheaper too. So
yeah, that's right. Then we got Robin Hood and the Bigfoot. I love the
which we've got
Bigfoot.
a ranged character. I like Bigfoot. He's kind of just a brute
Yep,
force
yep.
kind of, and he kind of runs around the map pretty well.
Good
Uh,
movement, good big hits.
yeah. And then Robin Hood's kind of one of those that he's just like trying to continually pick you off, like jab you just a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, and trying to use his guys to kind of actually keep himself safe from taking
Yes.
hits from a character kind of like Bigfoot, where I don't think if I remember right, he doesn't have like a ton of health, Robin Hood. Uh,
No, I think like
so
it's probably pretty low. I think it's like 13 maybe,
yeah, so if he
something
gets
like that.
cracked by Bigfoot or someone like that, I mean, it doesn't take many big hits to could
No.
possibly take him out, but he's one of those that just likes to jab at you. I would say this one, it is only two characters,
If
and
it had two more characters that were like just as good, I think it could be a must-have.
yeah, I would
Um,
agree.
but I think it does suffer from just two characters, so maybe put it in the A. I think for now.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe even B,
Yeah,
and they're good characters, but at the same time, I don't know. There's a couple other characters I feel a little more special than they do
that's
for
true. That's true.
what they
Bigfoot
do.
is just a brute, and there are other brutes that I think are a little more interesting. Yeah.
But I think it's
Plus, I
still
mean,
good. It's a good set.
four characters versus two is a big difference. It's hard to, yeah. We're not doing, we are not doing an average of like average score per character per set, nothing fancy like that. So that does affect it a lot, I think. So
Mhm.
that probably does drop it at least a tier. Then we got Little Red and Beowulf. If we were
I
ranking
just thought you were
covers,
gonna say Little Bigfoot.
yeah, I'm watching my words now. If we were ranking covers, I think this would be my favorite pretty easily.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a very solid cover for Unmatched, and they already. I mean, most of their covers are already pretty good,
yeah.
but this is probably the best. Spoilers.
Character wise, though, a little more complicated. Both of them are kind of managing something. Beowulf has his rage, which he charges up when he takes damage, I believe, and can use it, spend it on actions to make him more powerful. And she kind of has a basket, and her cards have symbols on them. So her most recent card in her basket can, based on what symbol it is, possibly boost her current card that she's playing or something like that. I'm not as
Yeah,
familiar with her.
yeah, yeah. You're trying to manage your basket. There's like three different symbols, and depending on what that is, it can trigger special effects on the next card you play, and that next card has a symbol on it to replace.
Oh,
So I I think if this was just me, I'd put this one in A tier. I really like both of these characters quite a bit. I
oh,
like what they do, and they both feel very unique, but not necessarily impossible to play. Like they
yeah.
don't feel difficult. Whereas, like for me, Bloody Mary feels difficult to play.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, that's fair.
Little Red sometimes is, I think, but at the end of the day, some of those abilities aren't like the greatest of all time, so you don't mind sometimes just maybe
Yeah,
setting your basket up for the next card you play.
yeah. Yeah, I'd say, and like comparing it to Robin Hood and Bigfoot, like Robin Hood and Bigfoot, they kind of have their characteristics. Like Robin Hood's kind of sneaky, takes some jabs. Bigfoot is big and hits big, and but they don't really have like a mechanism with them that's
Mhm.
associated with them, where each of these has a unique actual little mini game type thing that you have with them, and I think that really makes them stand out. So I'm okay putting this one in A, actually.
Oh, yeah.
To some Marvel sets here. We got Team Spirit. So we got Cloak and Dagger, which are two characters like in one,
Mhm.
both with pretty low health, but can kind of work together and swap spots. And I definitely played them perfectly in the tournament. We
Go
got
check out the first round.
yes, yes. We got Squirrel Girl, who has a bunch of little mini sidekicks who can move around the board and give her boosts, and then Miss Marvel, who is stretchy. I think I played her once, maybe in some not a tournament play. Did not make the draft in our tournament, but
She did
a
not.
little experience. So this is one of our least experienced sets, at least between us two,
Mhm.
I would say.
Yeah. It's probably one of
Uh,
the newest ones we have too.
yeah,
So, um, yeah, this one to me is C going on complete the collection. I
I mean, if it
like when you played Cloak and Dagger, I was just like, oh, that their health is so low that
it
it's
is,
very, very difficult. Once one's gone, you're really in trouble,
yeah,
I think.
it is tough, and that was
And
bad play
Squirrel
by me.
Girl
But
was
still, you can Squirrel Girl. At least
it can be good, but
it's really fun to get the squirrels out there. You love the squirrels. You want to get a lot of them out there. I think that's fun.
just a couple times or a couple ways though that sometimes you finally build up to enough squirrels and then all of a sudden your opponent
Certain
attacks them and kills them and some of
certain
our cards
characters,
really rely on the squirrels being out
yeah,
there and then if you can't keep them out there because they're pretty weak, uh
yeah,
it kind of can ruin some of the cards.
that's true. She
And
can.
then Miss Marvel we I guess haven't played quite
Yeah,
as
I think I
much.
liked playing as her, but
I don't think
yeah,
too.
character wise, we're not that interested in these IP characters. We don't know much about them other than a little bit about Miss Marvel. So this is probably maybe only get it if you're completing the collection. Um, if we had more experience, maybe it would go up a little bit, and it might go up as we see more. Because I do like Squirrel Girl. That's kind of the only thing that is trying to pull it up to see.
Yeah, that's true. If played them a little bit more, it might be C, but I don't. I think even if I did play it more, I don't see it going above a C
Oh yeah,
for me.
yeah.
So
Oh, boy. And we got some Hell's Kitchen,
yes.
which has Daredevil, my favorite TV shows of all time. One of my favorite characters. We got Bullseye, one of the weaker villains in the show, and Elektra, also not one of my favorite characters in the show, but um, I think these characters are pretty good. I obviously Elektra having the resurrection when she dies, she gets resurrected, and put her back out on the board. Her cards now have new effects that trigger. That's really cool and really
Hmm.
intimidating as the opponent, where you're like, "Oh, I'm getting her down there, getting her down there. What does it matter? She's gonna come back out with even more powerful cards."
Hmm. I think she's thought of as what if you know how to play Unmatched quite a bit. Probably better level than we do even. I think she's considered one of the best as well, right up in
Yeah,
the top tiers. But yeah, that is intimidating to fight against. And
yeah,
you got Bullseye, who can shoot from a long ways away.
yeah. That's there's some maps where he can hit anything, no
Hmm.
matter where it is. So he can has range of 5 spaces, which is pretty crazy. And that alone, I haven't played him, but that alone has me intrigued and wanting to play him. And
Hmm.
Daredevil drawing me in because I love the character, and he also has you can blind boost your cards. I think if you have is it a certain amount of cards in your deck, like a low amount in your hand. I mean,
Yeah, I think so. And I think his deck is smaller than the normal
smaller.
amount, and you can kind of
Yeah,
like bring it back and
reshuffle and
kind of keep him going
yeah,
versus if you ran out with another character, you would,
yeah,
well, you'd, what is it,
yeah.
exhaustion and slowly die, quickly die.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty solid one. It's
I'd
three
say
characters.
I'd say it's an A at least. I mean, I would like to put it up to must have, but like I said, I don't have much experience. I haven't played Electra or Bullseye, but I just have seen them and I think they're cool. So I would put it A for now.
Yeah, that's the position I'd put it in. It'd either be low A or high B, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we got
boy.
Redemption Row, another Marvel set. They made us a few of these Marvel sets in a
Yes, they
short
did.
period of time. And this one we've got who do we got? Luke
Vroom
Cage. We got
vroom.
Luke Cage. Vroom vroom.
Vroom
We got
vroom
vroom
Ghost
vroom.
Rider.
Ghost Rider, and we've got Night
Moon
Night
Knight.
Moon. I was totally blanking on his name. I'm like, what the heck is his name? Moon Devil. Oh, these characters.
The Night
Uh,
Demon.
these characters to me are probably out of the ones we've looked at so far, anyway. Out of these three boxes of Marvel, probably the most interesting characters of these three for me
Yeah.
personally. Um, I thought the Moon Knight series was pretty solid. And I
Yeah.
think the Moon Knight character, it's another one of those interesting ones where you're shuffling amongst three identities, and each one kind of does slightly different things.
I think it.
I think
Yeah.
this one's a little harder to do. It's more in the um, Bloody Mary style, I
Yeah.
think, for
Yeah.
me personally,
Yeah.
to try to get in the right. Because one like boosts your attack a little bit, one boosts your defense. So if you're offline with that,
Yeah.
it
If you
could just
just.
be a mess. Uh, and
Yeah.
then
That.
the vroom vroom,
Yeah. The other two I
all
haven't.
time great.
Yeah. Vroom vroom is all time great. And Luke Cage is a brick wall. I love Luke
He's a
Cage. He's
brick
one of
wall.
my. I picked Ghost Rider and Luke Cage kind of just as random picks in the tournament. I fell in love with their abilities. Luke
I
Cage
fell in
is.
love watching him.
I had maybe even put it above that one. I think it's a must-have. But it is only three characters.
I think, yeah, I would put it there. I think it is one of the must-have.
So good.
It's pretty good. I initially didn't think that, but then yeah, in the tournament, once I saw you playing as those characters, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
oh, that's pretty fun.
I mean, yeah, two of the characters, like you just look at them and you're like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna face that? That is so overpowered. And
They
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 all
can be
feel
beat.
that way. They can be beat. One of them can.
Oh, then we got Buffy, and yeah, we will put that down there. We probably have not given this one enough
No,
plays, but I think it is definitely complete the collection. It was very early on in the making of Unmatched, and I
yeah.
feel like they do
Even
not
some of the
hold up.
terminology is like different.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think they quite hold up to some of the newer stuff. They're definitely are a little bit weaker. I think it's definitely one for the completionists out there. If you
We
want to
don't
complete
watch
your
the
collection.
series, so
Yeah, we don't
might
have
as
any
well.
connection to the IP.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it's four more characters. None of these were drafted in our tournament. So, in next year's tournament, subscribe if you want to see that, and let us know in the comments below if you want to for sure see tournament number unnamed unmatched tournament 2. And we will draft characters that were undrafted last season before we start going back into ones that we previously used. Maybe that got eliminated first round.
undesirables to undeniables.
Exactly.
Oh boy. And
Oh
then the
boy.
first set that we ever got. I think we had talked about Dice Tower Awards or something, and I showed a lot of interest in this. And you ended up getting this, and we played it, and I think you fell in love with it. This whole system faster than I did. And now
Mhm.
we are both just absolutely in love with this game. And Goblin Vogue has a really good set of characters, and I think if we had gotten Buffy first, maybe we wouldn't be doing this list.
I don't think we would. I think it was good that we got this set because yeah, I think even the first initial play of it, I wasn't like enamored with it. But then something right before we did our top games of the year for that year, I think we replayed. I don't know if we played some different characters, and I just really found it to be a lot of fun. I think I was playing Jekyll and Hyde, which is one of the characters,
No,
and I played the which one is it? Is it Forever
some
Hyde or is it
something of
Matt?
man, duality
Uh,
of man,
yeah,
something
so
like that.
the one where you can for every whatever card, what is it? You have to be Hyde, right? And
Yeah,
for all your Dr. Jekyll cards, you can add two. And you had like 11 or 12 or 13 health
like I'm
and
safe.
just totally destroyed you. I mean, we didn't have any experience of this
Yeah,
really, so we didn't know what cards did and what not for each character. Um, but yeah, that was a fun character. Invisible Man is cool. He's going around the board and stuff. We got Sherlock Holmes, who's one of the greatest characters in the game. I
yeah,
think he just does a lot of fun things, looks at people's cards and uses them to damage themselves almost sometimes, it seems like.
Yeah,
Dracula isn't the worst.
yeah. What is Dracula's ability? Does he get like a +1 something? What does he get?
Well, he's got the
Oh, he
sisters.
does have the sisters. That's right.
And then, yeah, I don't remember. He's got some pretty powerful cards too.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I
and
feel
he's
like
got a little bit of healing, which is good too.
oh yeah, that is good. Healing is amazing in this game. So yeah, I think this is at least an A. I feel like I've cooled on Invisible Man, and don't know if I've played Dracula much.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of characters I just feel a little less interested in now that we have so many.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's got 4 characters and they are all solid. And if I were to recommend a core set, like if someone's not a fan of Marvel, I probably would say that Legends up there or Goblin Fog. So I don't think I can go against a must-have,
yeah.
even
I would
if I
probably
have
put this
cooled.
in must have or else the top of A. I would be fine with either of those. I think this is one of the best sets that they've made, especially being 4 characters. I think
Yes, that is
all
big.
of them are unique and interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
So we go
Oh,
back to Marvel.
had a little break there, but now we've got more for King and Country.
And
Marvel set.
now this is probably the one that well, I guess the next one I kind of know the characters too, but in these next two, I know the characters more than kind of those other ones
Yes,
combined. So yeah, we've
which
got
we got Black Widow, Black Panther, and Black Bucky, the Winter Soldier. It's so the abilities Black Widow has missions that are in her deck that she gets bonus like beyond your opposing fighter's starting space, and that'll give you a bonus adjacent to them or something like that. Black Panther kind of takes
takes their
damage,
cards, puts them into
takes
the vibranium suit, and then can use
and
them as boosts.
yes, boost just for his movement, right? Or can he use it? Or you can boost cards as well. Some say you can boost their value.
Right. Yeah.
Bucky, what is his? Does he?
So he does. I think he cancels all effects,
Okay,
and then
so
he's got cards that like will do negative things if you don't like play. There's a few cards that allow you to not have like the Hydra in your ear, pretty much to make you
oh
do whatever, let your opponent do something. Um, so yeah, I liked Black Panther quite a bit after my first play,
yeah,
and then I played him in the tournament and may not have done quite as well with him. That might have just been my own bad play. Um, I like the Winter Soldier. This one for me is probably in the B tier. I
yeah.
think it'd probably be yeah, mid to
Uh,
bottom B.
yeah, I'd put it there. I don't because yeah, Bucky also has negative effects that can
Hmm.
happen to him, and I'm just like, it just doesn't seem that great. Um, to have
Yeah,
those built into your cards, but I do like the vibranium suit, and I haven't played. I don't know if I think I played Black Panther once. I don't know if I played the the other two. Black
yeah.
Widow
Black
has
Widow
some.
to me, from what I saw or played, I wasn't as interested in her, I guess, but
Yeah, it's. I'd say B or high C maybe. I don't know. I'm not as
yeah,
into it.
could be in the C.
Oh boy. Brains and Brawn. Another Marvel set. Final Marvel set here. Hopefully not ever. Get back to Marvel. We need more characters. It's only half of them. So we had She-Hulk. I always put She-Hulk into all these Marvel sets and games, and I'm like, who is asking for this? I guess I
Where's
am.
regular Hulk?
I guess I am because I chose her in the tournament.
You did, you
Yes,
did
yeah.
choose her.
Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. She-Hulk's just another brute. Got a lot of high attacks. And one particular great card that can deal like 9 damage. But you can also, if she's in your same zone, throw one of her cards at you and deal automatic damage equal to its boost value. Which I don't know if I've done that great, but
Yeah,
it's
she doesn't
still
have very many big boosts. She only
no.
has like I think a couple
Yeah,
threes and then
I think
not many twos, a lot of
a
ones.
lot of
So it's
ones, a lot of ones.
not like it's doing a ton. And I think the ones that are threes are those big cards. So
Yeah,
you're kind of
yeah. So,
sacrificing that for automatic damage.
but automatic damage is pretty great in a game. So love that
Good one.
ability. You played as Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Spider-Man kind of is able to kind of get around from place to place, not get stuck too easily. And then he also has Spidey sense, so he can know what number his opponent's playing before they play it. So sometimes when you are playing someone, if you do know the decks pretty well, which I do not, that would make Spider-Man a little more interesting because if you know, oh, this person's card that's really high valued or really has maybe a good effect has a value of 2, so the attack itself might not be good, but if you don't cancel the effect, it's going to be way worse.
Yeah,
When they
yeah,
tell you it's going to be a 2, you're like, well, that could be that card. You're trying to determine whether or not that's that, and it makes it kind of fun. It's a fun guessing game, but then sometimes you can play it wrong too. I think in the
yeah.
tournament I played it right. I assumed, I think I just took a guess on it, and when it turns out good, it makes you feel really great.
It does. It does.
And then
I
Doctor Strange,
oh
I don't
yeah,
remember
he
if
does.
he
Does he go
he can
through
bring
his
like cards back into
deck?
his
Yeah,
deck by like taking a damage and stuff, which is, I mean, I guess similar to Sun Wukong putting out his clones taking damage. Things that
yeah,
make you take damage are can be good, but at the same time,
yeah.
kind of suck too because I think they go to the bottom of your deck, so then you're trying to play a longer game,
Oh,
but you're
that's true.
chipping away, and he's got
Yeah,
Wong, so
yeah. I'd
this one for me
say,
could be C or B.
yeah.
This and King and Country are about the same, probably.
I like this more than King Country because I like the characters, but I'd say slightly disappointing because Doctor Strange and Spider Man are both some of my favorite characters in the Marvel movies. And I don't feel like their characters here are nearly as good as I would like them to be, or as
I would agree.
interesting.
I would agree. And I guess I think both of them could be C's if we really wanted to
Yeah.
make it more even here. But
Oh, yeah.
I think they're both good enough to be
And
there.
we'll leave them there for now. Oh boy. And another Doctor Strange here. The Genie is taking on Houdini in a 2 character set. And yeah, I don't know if I played either of these characters, so you're gonna have to talk on this one.
I think I played Houdini once, and he can I think move into different areas and stuff. Uh, I think he had some interesting cards. Was that one that Michaela picked in the tournament?
Oh yes, yes,
And then the
yes, it was.
genie is able to do what was it, 3 actions?
Oh yeah, I think does he have to sacrifice something? I forget.
Yeah, no, I'm blanking on these two as well. This is one of our lesser played ones. Um, I felt like this one wasn't as interesting as I was hoping. I think the genie felt good enough. If
Yeah,
I remember right, he felt a little bit stronger, and I think I don't know. Houdini's probably good as
mhm.
well, but I just haven't been
It's
as intrigued about these ones.
and
I
it's
think I've
only
played each
2.
of them only a couple times. It's only 2 of them.
Yeah, maybe put it
Uh,
in C for now.
Probably a C. Could go up with maybe more
Yeah,
plays,
yeah,
but as of right now, I'm not as interested in getting back to those ones. They didn't seem
yeah,
as interesting to me.
yeah.
Oh boy,
Getting some Jurassic Park.
we got the Raptors versus Muldoon.
Yes, and uh, they could have gone a different way with when they released these sets, I think, and maybe would buy one and not buy the other. So
I was
um,
just going to ask you. So if this would have been Raptors versus T Rex, which is
that's
what I'm
must have.
assuming you're alluding to, I think I don't know that many people would have bought Muldoon versus uh what's her face,
Dr. Sattler.
Dr. Sattler and Goldblum. I
But
don't
yeah,
think they would have bought them, but
if it
uh,
was Raptors versus T Rex, that is a must have for sure. Muldoon
or if it
has
could have
some.
been a four
Oh
person
yes,
set, maybe could
that
have
would have
been.
that would have been pretty. But I do like the Raptors. I played them as well and had a lot of fun with them. I love they have some really good cards and they get boost for there's 3 Raptors, so you get boost for surrounding your
Mhm.
opponent, and that's just really fun to maneuver and get that extra 1 or 2 hits for attack and be devastating. chaining actions as well, which is really fun. Muldoon is a little more kind of putting traps out onto the board, which planning ahead and all that stuff, that's not what I'm about. So, much
Yeah,
less interesting to
he's
me.
a ranged character, so I
That's
like that. I always like the ranged characters. I think they can be a little funner to play. You can shoot from further away, and the
yeah.
Raptors are pretty good, especially for having low health. Like,
Oh yeah.
granted it's one additional one, but compared to like your play with Shadow and Bone, what it,
Cloak and dagger.
Cloak and Dagger, I think these are way funner than that.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, for
reminds me
sure.
a little bit of Sun Wukong when you've got
Oh,
the
yeah.
clones, and I think he's got one type of card where hit an additional one for each clone
Oh
surrounding.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
do like that quite a bit. But I
Uh,
think this would still end up two
I think it's kind of
characters.
right there with the Marvel ones. I think the
Yeah,
Raptors are probably my favorite of these three sets. Even
yeah.
um,
I'd be fine with it anywhere in there.
could go into C. Yeah, all these here at the bottom of B could really go into C.
Hmm.
It is only two characters. Yeah, I don't know.
That's the tough part. That's
Mm,
going to be the tough part with this next one too, because the other Jurassic Park set's got the T Rex and Sattler. Sattler feels very similar to Aldoon. She's putting
yeah.
out these tokens as well. Um, it's not traps, but they kind of play with it a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the T Rex though is one of the funnest meat fighting meat
It is so fun.
characters.
It's a giant mini. It takes up two spaces. It's awesome.
It does.
Beautiful. And it's really powerful. It's like 27 health or something. And it
Hmm.
just hits massive, can chain actions together as well. But I'm just not interested in Ellie Sattler at all, even with Jeff Goldblum there with her. I'm like, I
I
almost want to
know.
put this. Is this a C tier, even with top tier character?
That's the tough part. I definitely prefer Muldoon versus Sattler, for looking at it that way. And I
Yeah,
like the dinosaurs probably evenly. They both do kind of unique things.
yeah,
I'd maybe put the T Rex a little bit higher than the Raptors, but
yeah.
I think as a set, an interesting character is probably. Although, it depends what sets you have. If you
Yeah,
don't have any like brute characters, then I guess I'd go T Rex over Raptors.
yeah.
But
I mean, it didn't stop us from buying two sets of the T
of
Rex.
each, to eventually have that two T Rex on six Raptor matchup that everyone's wanting. Let us know in the comments below if you've made it this far and you want to see a six tag team match of Raptors versus two T Rex.
Oh my goodness.
Because
I mean,
that's the worst part about the two sets is
yeah.
now we got two Sattlers, two Muldoons. The other characters aren't that interesting.
We just
Come
got to
on,
do that matchup: two Muldoons versus two Settlers. Just
everyone
somehow
would
an
want that.
amazing match. Just tokens
Could be
all over the
tokens
board.
all over the board. That would be a lot of tokens. Yeah, yeah. And unfortunately, it could be C because that one's she's just not as interesting. I don't. She's not a ranged character. I mean, she's fine, but she doesn't. If I remember right, she doesn't even have like big attacks or anything. She's
I
got
don't
like a lot
think
of
so.
like weird cards that like
Yeah,
regain her health, I think, and just weird things.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
as interesting. She seems like one that maybe is like one that maybe will outlast a lot of other characters, but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
Then the last one
And
we've got here, Tales to a Maze, which
I
is
don't think
the first cooperative set
yes,
that they've
yes,
made,
it's
and I believe they're
correct.
coming out with a second one. I think they're having a campaign sometime this year. Can't wait to see what that will be or when that'll be announced. Hopefully it's
Yeah,
I mean, I guess it's almost summer, so I can't remember when they did
yeah.
this one, or had to be about the same time or announced it. But for the characters here, we've got Tesla, Annie Christmas,
Yes, the Golden Bat,
the Golden Bat, and
Jill Trent.
Dr. Jill Trent.
Yes,
And then you've got all these that you're
yeah,
battling the
all
Mothman and the
bats.
alien
Yes.
invaders, and then you've got kind of some side baddies. Uh, if we were going based on just the characters, four characters, and not
I'd,
the fact that it comes with all that stuff.
I'd say it was
They're
probably
not the most
B.
interesting.
Eh,
Yeah,
It's still
mid B.
4 characters, so it's good.
Hmm.
Probably B. I like some of the things they do, but some of them are similar to other things that are already existing.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
Tesla's
A,
charging coils, which kind of reminds me of Beowulf a
yeah,
little bit. Golden Bat. I think it's just kind of powerful
yeah.
again, kind of one of those characters.
Jill Trent
Jill
has like a
Trent,
little gadget that she can switch, and
kind of similar
it's
to what's her Big and Small
oh yeah,
Alice, and then Annie Christmas. I don't remember what she
got a
has.
sidekick.
She
She
got the
plays with
side.
numbers and cards, I think maybe.
Yeah, and I think she's
They're,
on the stronger side as
yeah,
well.
they're
Uh,
interesting, but I would say it'd probably be B for the characters. But for what it gives you in that additional cooperative mode,
if you want to
this
play
is
Unmatched Cooperative, I'm putting this in
that's
must
must
have.
have. That's must have. It doubles all your content.
It
Now
does.
you have all these characters to fight. Now you have all these characters to fight together. And it just opens up so many doors. So this maybe for what it adds to the game, it's number one. It adds more than anything else.
Yeah, I would put it as number one, yeah, assuming you have some other
Yeah.
content. Whatever
Yes.
you may end up liking the most out of this. If this was the only thing if you're only getting one thing and you didn't plan on playing cooperatively, then I'd probably do
Yeah.
Battle of Legends
Battle
Volume
of
2.
Legends or Cobble and Fog or
Yeah.
yeah.
But I would, if I was just starting out fresh, and I got 2 sets, I think I'd get Tales to Amaze and Legends 2, Volume 2.
Yeah. I'd say so.
But yeah, let us know in the comments below if you agree. If you've never played Unmatched, go check out our content, get to love the game like we do. Uh, but yeah, let us know if you can think of any other tier lists you'd like to see relating to Unmatched or anything else in board gaming, and we'd love to do it. And subscribe if you want to see future ones. But otherwise, we hope to see you on our next video. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.